Hollow Knight Silksong is like any RPG, where you can kill enemies, get money from them, die, or sit at a save point, come back, kill them again, and repeat until you have as much money as you want. That means, technically, you can hit the Rosary cap just by coming over to any enemy that drops Rosary beads, and killing them for thousands and thousands of hours. Hooray, I killed an enemy, and I got a plus 11 on the side of my screen. But who the heck wants to see that? I don't want to see plus 11 10,000 times. I want to see plus 110,000 through the use of massive items, any means possible to get that Rosary number to jump up in one fell swoop. No one wants to make money over 40 years. Everyone wants to make 40 years worth of money in one fell swoop. And that is why I am creating this video to your viewers, to show you how you can do so. Now, to begin with, usable Rosary items are already far better than killing enemies in most cases when it comes to stacking money all at once. Say, if you even just continue pressing Z or the use key on a full stack of basic Rosary necklaces, instead of getting 10 Rosary beads, you'll see we get thousands and thousands very quickly. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. This is not nearly enough for me. And by the end of this video, it won't be nearly enough for you too. So there are many methods to make rosaries in Silksong, some better than others, but what we are looking for are the methods that let us stockpile Rosary beads so we can pick them up in one fell swoop. The usable items are good. Another great option are hidden rosaries, one of which I think no one has ever found in their first playthrough, happens to be right here. I am not joking, this is not modded. This bunch of 30 Rosary beads is to the left of Bellheart, and I don't think I found them for months after this game came out. Just a little fun fact for all of you watching this video. But it is not enough on its own, clearly. Bellheart itself has some of the best Rosary accumulating sources in the entire game. One of which is this shop right here, but a better one, in my opinion, is right here, the Craw Bell. It passively earns you income. I just got 146 Rosary beads from it, and who knows what the upper limit is. Scrounge is another great source. I've already donated all of the relics to her, but each of these relics is worth 100 plus Rosary beads, so imagine how much money you can get by donating them all at once. But I am just throwing out options here for Rosary beads. Why don't we go into the nitty-gritty, go deeper into detail to show you what the max amount of rosaries you can get in one sitting are. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to Kilroy Was Here so you too can buy every item from merchants like Frey in Silksong with your massive bulging purse of beads. Now, let's get on to some of the methods. And before any of you wise guys comments, no, I don't count picking up 1 billion rosaries in a cocoon to be earning them. I want to make money, not pick it up after I put it on the floor. I love being in the Festival of the Flea, dear viewer. There's no reason you have to be in it to do this idea. I just wanted to break open all of my usable Rosary items here. You won't be making many rosaries from the Festival of the Flea, you just get a few from beating it all. Now, 19 frayed Rosary strings is the max that are in the game. 20 Rosary strings and Rosary necklaces are the max you can hold, and you can make them by stringing up your own rosaries. You can find 7 heavy Rosary necklaces in the game and 2 pale Rosary necklaces. This is the max amount of usable Rosary items that are in Hollow Knight Silksong that you can hold at one time specifically. I was hoping, coming into this video, that I could use all of them in sequence, and at the end of it, see probably one of the largest sums of Rosary beads you will ever find at one time. It's like selling 1 billion bars of gold you found around the world. Sadly, that dream was meant to be crushed. As you may have just noticed, dear viewer, the second that you try and go to another object in the menu, the Rosary tallying mechanic on the Rosary counter there immediately kicks in. Which means for our purposes, you can only ever get as much as 20 of the Rosary necklaces at one time. I believe this gives you the highest singular number on that counter, which ends up being around, 120 times 20. So it would end up being 2,400. Or I guess 2,160, because I used them in wrong order. But yeah, if you could do this all at once, you would get closer to 7,000 rosary beads. 6,390 as I had it here. But unfortunately, I can't really officially count this as the high number because it was split up into different sectors. So, what else can we do to feed our need for big numbers showing up on the screen? Well, we could always join our good friend Loam in taking the slow and very arduous path of earning one rosary 1,000,000 times. Yes, this room with the treadmill will give you one rosary every time the bar behind Hornet goes up to full. At least it has a chance to. It also has a chance to pay out with nothing, but hopefully we don't hit that chance very often. Now, it's very comical to imagine making any large amount of money in this room, but this room has a severe benefit that I can't afford to ignore for this video. When you kill enemies in Hollow Knight Silksong, they stay dead until you either quit the game, die, or go and sit at a bench. All of those options essentially require you to leave the room that you just killed the enemy in. So you can't kill 5,000 enemies and leave the rosary beads on the ground, because the second you leave any of those rooms, those rosary beads despawn. This treadmill has the capability to produce rosary beads that do not despawn, and we never have to leave the room because we can just keep running and keep making more. Theoretically, if we were on this treadmill for years and years and years of our life, we could walk out of this room with the cap of 9,999,999 rosary beads. In reality, based on the amount of time it takes to earn rosary beads on this treadmill, it would take us around 17 years of straight running to do so. But it is theoretically possible, right? And once I considered this fact, I thought I might have to leave this game running for days and days on end to see if the highest amount of money you can make comes from doing minimum wage labor. But fortunately for me, that doesn't appear to be the case, because this whole premise I have sold to you has one major flaw: game performance. Using the power of mods, I can show you in a very quick amount of time what it's like to have millions and millions of rosary beads in this room. This could be Loam's personal paradise, but it's not. You may notice Hollow Knight Silksong deletes rosary beads once there are more than 60 in a room. No matter how much work we do, no matter how many years we run, we will never have more rosary beads in this room than 60. Far, far below any metric we're trying to hit in this video. So sorry Loam, I will not be running with you for millions of years, because apparently, even when I get paid money, the Shadow Cartel of Farloom are coming down to take away every rosary bead I earn above 60. And immediately, the taxes on me have made me not want to do this work anymore. I hope one day you will come to the same conclusion though, although I know you won't, and you are doomed to be dead at the end of Act 3. So, what else do we have on our table other than minimum wage labor that gets stolen from us? I briefly showed off two very promising methods of money making at the beginning of this video, one of them being the Craw Bell. The Craw Bell passively earns you money and shell shards as you go out and explore the world. That means, theoretically, it could just keep building and building up that money until you get to basically the limit of your money. Sadly, that's not how the Craw Bell works. It has a hard-coded limit of 500 rosary beads that you will never earn more than when you go to pick it up. And apparently Pavo is close enough that he can listen to my music and the Craws can. So 500 rosary beads isn't enough, it just breaks the whole system. But we have Scourge, and Scourge has the ability to take in all of these relics at once. If you don't donate them to her ever, and donate them all at once, you will make 2,760 rosary beads. It's not nothing, for sure. However, it's still not exactly the peak I am looking for. It is less than the amount of money you can hold just with the rosary strings in your pocket, and therefore, this doesn't really work as the maximum method of getting rosary beads either. You can always deliver stuff too, but that's basically worth nothing. So, on to the method to make the most money, which is the real reason I started this video. Yes, the way you can make the most money in Silksong is by a pure test of skill, with Loddie and his ladybug friend here. Most people ignore Loddie after getting his first reward because it's a crafting kit upgrade or a pouch upgrade, I forget which one. It's generally the most valuable one. But in terms of raw Rosary potential, you can talk to Loddie after beating him twice, to go against his final challenge, to hit the target as many times you can, and the more targets you hit, the more rosaries you win. And more than just that, you saw that it cost 25 rosary beads. Well, Loddie has a stockpile of 380 rosary beads. If you clear him out, you can no longer play the game. But that stockpile increases by 25 every time you pay for the challenge. Even if you pay for the challenge and instantly lose, that means that Loddie just added 25 rosary beads and now has 405 rosary beads. So, how do you make money on this game? The first 6 targets you hit give you 1 rosary bead each. Basically nothing. The next 6 give you 2. Double the rewards. And every single hit after that gives you 3 rosary beads. While 300% is a good increase from 1, let's just say it's not good if we're trying to make any feasible amount of money that would show up on our counter. You see, 3 rosary beads for every 1 hit is basically nothing. You would have to hit more than 100 targets in a row just to get rid of Loddie's base amount of rosary beads in one game. And I have it sped up just so it's not too boring, but this friggin' ladybug gets fast, man. I mean, at this point, I think it's already near the fastest it can be. So, you have to lock in and essentially hit thousands and thousands of targets in a row if you want to make a substantial amount of money. And I don't think I'm skilled enough to do that. I don't know anyone who's really skilled enough to do that without getting bored out of their minds. Anyone who would want to anyway. You see, I made 100 rosary beads from that, from 40 in a row. And that is like impressive in my mind. So, how do we actually get to thousands of targets hit in a row? And before we even do that, let me show you what it's like feeding Loddie 25 rosary beads over and over until he holds the rosary bead cap. And the process was very enjoyable, dear viewer, and by that I mean it was mind-numbingly boring. You donate 25 rosary beads as the opening fee, and then you immediately run over the line so Loddie gets 100% profit. Yes, that is right. In order to get the rosary cap in one payment, you must first get the rosary cap in multiple payments, donate all of that money to Loddie so that his stockpile is the max amount of rosary beads you can have, and then win them all back in one grand swoop in the greatest game of target practice anyone has ever seen in the world. And I believe that is impossible for a mere human, so let me show you the techniques a god would use to get an infinite score on this ring throwing game, or on this pin throwing game. What I'm showing you on screen now can be theoretically done with nothing but glitches, room duping to get enemies in here and obstacles, but it would just be so dumb and annoying to do so. I'm just showing how it's possible with hacks. If you spawn an enemy on the bench after Hornet dies, you get into this no-clip state, and if you talk to Loddie but get hit mid-talking with him, you will be able to move while starting up the pin throwing challenge. And because we have no clip, we can float, we can go off screen, and by going far enough to the right off screen, when we start the challenge and the game tries to bring us all the way back to the left side of the barrier, it does not let us go past it, or rather it does, but we are still floating, so Loddie never calls us out for getting here. And did you know that this ladybug is not programmed to just be hit by pins? It can be hit by anything, including your needle, including any other tool. Any way you have to damage them, you can hit them. Which means that yes, you could get to the absolute max amount of rosary beads using absolutely nothing but your needle. I don't think you should, genuinely speaking. Consider, I believe the max amount of rosary beads is 10 million. Consider getting 10 million rosary beads by making, at most, 3 rosary beads per hit. So you know, you just have to get a score of 3.33 million, repeating. That shouldn't be too hard, right? At the speed that you can hit the ladybug. And while this is certainly faster and more consistent than throwing a pin, you may notice that just having the ability to float in place isn't the best form of movement. If you ever touch the ground, or touch, say, like the line to the left of the screen here, Loddie will call you out, take all of your money, and you will earn nothing from this run, no matter how many hits you get on the target. So, yeah, this video took like a week to get out, not just because of this, mostly because my computer that I started working on this with exploded, and I had to do a ton of work to try and finish this video at all. So if the quality of the mic is a bit different in the second half of this video, now you know why. But more than that, the day that my computer broke, I had spent 4 hours straight doing nothing but this. Hitting the ladybug target with the needle, just so that I can show a truly high amount of rosary beads all paid out in one fell swoop. That's how much I cared about this, dear viewer. I genuinely wanted to show that it is truly possible for you to earn infinite rosary beads by doing this. I did not get 3.3 million. That would not have taken 4 hours. That probably would have taken 4 months. I don't even think I don't even think I'm exaggerating when I say that, is the sad thing. Because look how annoying it is to even get one at a time. And if you start gaining or losing height, you have to start to adjust yourself. But I'm not going to go show you the whole problem. Yes, you can hit the ground easily. I'm going to show you how high I managed to get this score. And it was pretty high. It was 4 hours worth of gameplay straight, all for the one goal of seeing the biggest amount of money you will ever see in this game in one payment. And now I'm showing you the culmination of all of my hard work the day I recorded this. Yes, I believe I ended at around 3,400 targets struck, a number that I doubt has ever been seen in this game before, because in order to do so, you would have to spend the amount of time I did doing nothing but hitting this ladybug, and also having cheats or glitches to float. Because I don't know anyone who's getting this high of a streak legitimately with nothing but throwing pins. And I was so happy that I got this far, and I was expecting around a 10,000 rosary bead payout for all of that work. But sadly, that reward was not to come to pass. I threw that last pin expecting for the game to end, me to go over to Loddie and be told, you missed that one, but you got 3,400. And instead, what did I get? I got told by Loddie that I broke the game. Loddie, being so selfish as to not give me what I rightfully earned over hours of hard work. I earned 10,000 rosary beads at once. I paid those to you, and you disqualified me. So yes, you can use this glitch to get there, but you can't get paid because Loddie is a cheating fraud. While I was not able to showcase the massive payout that this game has the potential to give you, I know 100% that this is theoretically the most money you could ever make in one fell swoop in Silksong. The code aligns it. I can show you what it would look like through some clever editing. You will notice my incredible editing skills here. That's around the money I would have made had I won the last attempt and not been scammed by Loddie. So, you may ask, what is the value of this? Well, I never said this video was going to be particularly useful in any reasonable circumstance. The best way to make money, to make a ton of money all in one fell swoop in Silksong, is by donating all of that money to a strange ladybug, who will then scam you all of that money when you try to win it back from him, but theoretically, you could win it all back from him in one fell swoop. I do not see a better way of making all this money at once other than breaking a cocoon, which I find lame, and I think you should too. So, the maximum amount of money you can make in one payment in Hollow Knight Silksong is all the money. 10 million rosary beads at once. As long as you have 10 years to spare, you can earn it. Have a good day, everyone.